Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 12, Episode 13, which is the season finale. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So when the show starts off, they are still in Nashville. It's the next morning and everyone is still acting as if they cannot move forward with Teresa's behavior. They are all still appalled. They can't believe that she would act this way, as if any of this is brand new or odd or out of the ordinary for the Real Housewives. I have no idea why everybody is just so outdone by this behavior. I also have no idea how this became all about Marge, the victim. Marge is a victim here. Not in my book. Marge is no victim. Jackie does talk to Evan and say that she's going to do her best to try to eat better in the upcoming days. She made the promise to her therapist that she would add one new item into her menu every day, and she hasn't been able to do that. So I am wishing the best for Jackie when it comes to her diet. The fact that she's thinking about it and trying is a very positive step forward. We see Teresa having a conversation with Melissa and Joe, and Joe pretty much congratulates her for her apology, and she says that it was heartfelt and she has no idea why Marge didn't believe it. And Marge, of course, her and her husband Joe are in their room, complaining about this apology. Well, listen, I have to agree with Marge with one thing. Everybody is patting her on the back and congratulating her for this apology. This apology was pretty bad. It really was. I don't understand why in her apology, even if she did not want to apologize to Teresa, she could have said to the group, guys, I would like to apologize for my behavior the night before. I should not have acted that way. I truly am sorry for embarrassing you all, and I owe you a dinner. Something. It was the whole, I was provoked. Teresa has never given anyone a genuine apology, if you ask me. Last season, that apology that she gave to Jackie was really, really bad. What really took me out was later Jackie acting as if she was never cool with Teresa. Yet we seen Jackie post of Jackie and Teresa, Evan and Louie out golfing, hugged up, taking pictures together. So miss me with that whole lie, Jackie. Crawl out of Marge's ass. I have had it. Can I just mention this? Did anybody notice the last two episodes when they're eating breakfast, they're all standing around the kitchen eating? Does this big, gigantic home not have a kitchen table, a dining room table? There's no tables with chairs there. Everybody is just going to stand up and eat. I don't know what that is. Maybe they're just working on their digestion. I have no idea. Maybe the show told them it's easier for us to film if we all just stand around and eat these eggs. And did anybody else think that the breakfast the chef came in and made for them was pretty much the same stuff they made for themselves the day before? One thing that I find really odd is that
Teresa came in with a bad attitude last night. And then to compliment her, Joe Gorga, that was a beautiful apology.
It's a start.
I thought it was nice. I was very nervous about what she was going to do to my family next.
If there's nothing going on in your family, she can't do anything to her.
I know, and frankly, I consider her dangerous.
Joseph fat-shamed me at the table, and not one of you said something to her.
What? It's not about allowing it. We're not her parents.
But you need to take accountability too, Margaret. It's just not her.
You have to admit you asked a lot of questions, right?
That's it. Why can't you just acknowledge that? Just take accountability.
Marge and Jackie, they will drag Teresa for filth. And Joe and Melissa will just sit there and listen and smile. Every now and again, they'll jump in to be a part of it. Jackie calling Teresa dangerous. I would like to say, is Dolores dangerous? When she walked up on your butt at that party, your keg party, was that dangerous? Every time that Marge has walked up in somebody's face and got smart, was that dangerous? Anytime any of these ladies throw a plate, a fork, pour a drink on somebody's head, is it dangerous? I'm just saying, cut it out. What is good for one is good for all. Marge and Teresa are two sides of the same coin. Quit playing. And if Jackie and everybody else does not keep bringing up this rumor about Evan, Jackie makes too many comments about this rumor for this rumor not to be true. I am starting to truly believe that Evan cheated. Jackie, let it go. If Evan had not cheated, anybody else, ask yourself right now, if somebody started a rumor like this about you and your husband, you and your boyfriend, you and your wife, whatever, would you keep bringing it up and harping on it and laying on top of it over and over and over again if it wasn't true? I mean, as a matter of fact, if it was true, I'm not going to keep bringing it up, especially if it's causing me problems with my eating. Then Marge asking the group over and over again to defend her to Teresa. I said, isn't that the same thing as last week when Teresa was asking Melissa to defend her to Marge? Even though the way Teresa was doing it was really bad and tacky, all that screaming and hollering across the place. But at the same time, Marge, you didn't need backup to talk shit about Louis the whole time. You didn't need backup to keep bringing Louis up and bashing Louis and talking about Teresa. You didn't need backup at all when you were doing your dirt. But you need backup when Teresa says something bad about you. I don't understand that. I would also like to make a production note. Did anybody notice that all season they have been quick to show Teresa when she has done something wrong, Jennifer when she is doing something wrong? Where the hell are all the flashbacks of Marge acting a fool? We haven't seen one this entire season. Jennifer was absolutely right. Marge has to take some accountability in this. What Teresa did to Marge was absolutely 100% wrong. It was childish, and she needs to learn how to use her words. You don't have to put everybody's food on top of this woman to prove your point. But at the same time, Marge does need to stand up and say, maybe I should mind my damn business and stop worrying about this woman and her boyfriend. Also, why is Tiki on this trip? He knew he had to work. He only shows up for dinner. The rest of the time, he is back at the house filming his radio show. He could have just stayed home and kept his wife there with him. So they decided to go on one of those booze bike trips or whatever. They really did have a good time. But what I really appreciated is Teresa got on the bike and she said hello to Marge. And I said, well, she's starting off good, but Lord knows how this is going to finish. End up going to this chicken place where they have a hot chicken there. And one of their chicken dishes is the hottest chicken dish that they have. It's called Shut the Cluck Up. And the boys have decided to order some of this chicken because they're going to have a competition to see who can handle the heat the longest. I was proud to see that Jackie ordered the grilled chicken strips and some coleslaw. I said, well, you go, Jackie. She said that was a big decision for her, you know, especially adding this coleslaw. So I think that's a good thing for her. Teresa then decides that she wants to have a conversation with Marge. And I said, oh, God, not another moment of public embarrassment. And I was thinking, this is their last day on this trip. Can't they just get a little peace? Can't you please leave these people the hell alone? Can't they just have one day, one afternoon without you and Marge in this ridiculous behavior? No. She was not here.
I don't think now is the
No, I want to talk tonight. I want to talk now.
Do we need to ruin another meal?
Margaret, it's up. Now you've been talking about Louis for months now.
I don't think now is appropriate.
I'll do it when I want to do it.
No, wait a minute. Wait, no.
Can we do this later?
No, because it was like bothering.
That is ridiculous. If the woman said she doesn't want to have this conversation right now, just say okay and go sit down somewhere. Instead, it took her brother and Melissa to convince her to just go on, sit back down next to Louis. And can somebody listen? I noticed a couple things. Louis's face always looks as if he has 120-degree temperature. And I've also noticed recently on all the episodes, Jackie's face always looks flushed. She looks upset or something. She's red in the cheeks all the time, but I'm worried about that. Louis, on the other hand, I don't know why he's always looking as if he's about to catch fire. I knew it, and I mentioned this before. Marge is still pissed off about that ponytail pull that Danielle did. We have to remember, before Danielle pulled Marge's hair, she almost got whiplash. Before she got that hair pull, she had called Danielle to see you next Tuesday. And then she poured that water on Danielle's head. She had also told Danielle that she had been rode hard and put up wet. Then Danielle told her that she needs to lift those saggy boobs. Next thing you know, Danielle gets the water poured on her. Then she asked Teresa if she should pull her hair, and Teresa said yes. Now, Teresa was absolutely wrong for that. She was absolutely wrong for that. But when she apologized, Marge said she accepted her apology. Marge is not past it. She is not over it. And I knew she wasn't. Both of them act irrational sometimes. They're both loud. They're both rude and obnoxious and irritating. Both of them. Honey, so anyway, the shut the cluck up shows up.
Eyes are burning, my mouth is burning, my nose is burning.
Frank's turning like a lobster.
That is an absolute 100% hell no for me. I don't like hot stuff. I go to BW3s, I get the medium. Okay? I go to Roosters, I get the medium. I don't play around. I really don't. I have an uncle that always gets whatever the hottest thing is that they have anywhere. And let me tell you, one time he ordered the blazing wings at BW3 and just the smell of the sauce burnt the inside of my nose. I mean, ooh, there's no taste when it's that hot. I mean, it's really bad. I felt for Frank because he got a little bit in his eye when he went to touch his eye. Oh no. They all go out to dinner to this really nice rooftop restaurant, and Louis pulls Joe aside for a conversation.
I want to respect you like you're her dad, and I want to ask you for your blessing. What's up with the past? And I went on to have a couple toxic relationships. You know, desperate, thirsty, you know, low-life exes.
When he is questioned, I think he gets very anxious, and I think he doesn't always say the right thing.
I really don't like the way Louis is always calling his exes low-life, thirsty, toxic women, because they weren't low-life and thirsty when you were with them. They weren't low-life and thirsty when you were out there on the beach with all those dudes claiming how sorry you were and you loved them. I mean, seriously, stop doing that. And I'm a type of person that I do believe that where there's smoke, there is fire. And there is hella smoke around Louis. So first of all, every last one of these ladies are not just thirsty and they're out to get you. Some parts of this story, in my opinion, are true. I do appreciate him being respectful and asking Joe for Teresa's hand, considering that Teresa and Joe are all that is left of their immediate family. So I think that that's good. And I also think that it was the right thing for Joe to ask him about those rumors, even though they have asked this man about these rumors 1,000 times, and he keeps giving that same story about these thirsty, toxic, low-life women. I have a feeling that Louis might carry some of those same thirsty, toxic, low-life traits. I'm just saying. And again, they go around this conversation about Teresa. You know, how she needs to take accountability. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. I'm telling you right now, Teresa acts as if there was absolutely nothing wrong for her behavior. Nothing wrong with her throwing all that drinks and food all over Marge, screaming and hollering, yelling across the restaurant that Marge is a whore, and all these other things that she was calling Marge. All of that was absolutely wrong, and she owes the whole group an apology, including Marge. But Marge also should have stood up and said, what I did was wrong as well. You want to talk about how this vacation was hard for you. How about the rest of the people? How about the rest of the people? If one of the two of you women who are both over the age of 49 would have just said, listen, let's just stop this. Let me stand up and take responsibility for what I have done, apologize, and move forward, the rest of this vacation would have been a hell of a lot better than it was.
The problem is, you girls, you've lowered your standards for her.
I don't feel I lowered my standards.
At your party and said, Teresa, you got to get ahead of this. The day you met me, I said I slept with the contractor. I cheated on my husband. I put my out there. Pretending it never happened is giving it life. You said this woman supposedly has stabbed her husband with a butcher knife. Why would you ever think I would want to hurt you and Louis?
I just didn't feel like it was sincere. I really didn't. Leave us alone. Like Jennifer and Dolores, they know me. They know what ticks me off, what doesn't.
No. They said they lowered their standards. All I ever did was be good to you.
I mean, I would say ditto. Same.
Ditto. I am done.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Oh.
But I'm not here to audition for Margaret. Margaret's starving to sit in your seat. Do you understand that? Like, seriously, I'm done. Like, let's get it. Like, I don't need this. I work harder. You never have to work every day of your life.
I know.
How lucky is that? Let's go move into our 15,000 square foot house, all right?
Dolores and Jennifer did not say that they had lowered their standards to be friends with Teresa. So Marge is an absolute lie. And she continues to perpetuate this. I haven't done anything wrong. I really care about you. I care about Louis. I want you guys to be together. It was out of concern. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It was not out of concern. It was not out of concern. And for Teresa to say, Marge, you should have came to me. Marge was right. She did come to Teresa. But I guess Teresa needs to be a little firm. I guess Teresa wasn't firm enough with Marge because I thought she was. She told Marge that she didn't want to talk about it. And she would like Marge to stop talking about it as well. Marge is giving her this, well, you got to get in front of it. You got to be transparent. Marge, Dolores had just told you a few minutes earlier that she doesn't expect her friends to do what she would do. Just because you wanted to tell everybody in town that you were spreading it low and wide and you and Joe were both cheaters and got together doesn't mean that everybody else wants to talk about their personal business. Just because you would handle one situation this way doesn't mean that I would handle a situation the same way. People are not going to do what you want them to do. You have to let Teresa handle this Louis situation the way she wants to handle it, and you handle Joe, your little bitch boy, the way you want to handle him. Yeah, I'm over both Marge and Teresa. Both of them have handled this situation so immaturely. Marge has sat around and used this woman for a storyline this entire season, and then she wants to get upset. Melissa even said it in the kitchen when they were standing around eating the same eggs they could have made themselves. She said, you were talking too much. You were asking too many questions. You were just doing the most. Now, Louis acting a fool at the end. Listen, I didn't appreciate any of that. Let's take a jet home. Let's go back to our 15,000 square foot house. So in other words, you're trying to put everybody else down. Go somewhere, red face. I have had it. I'm looking at Louis with the side eye. I mean, I always have, but still. Then the comment that he made about Marge wanting Teresa's seats, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Teresa, ever since her very first season of the show, she has always sat right center in the middle wearing the crown. And Marge is coming for it. I don't think you're going to get it. But it was a good try. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.